Jason Harwood, and I realized I had a productivity challenge one day when I was sitting playing Legos with my son, and his Lego bin reminded me significantly of my life. Jumbled, confused, disordered, a bit frustrating. I didn't even know which piece to pick out. Frankly, I didn't even know what I was building towards, where I was trying to get to, what I was trying to accomplish. Now, in the first video in this series, I talked about establishing the outlook of exactly where you want to go. Make sure you go watch that video. I'll give you some tips on that. But with Legos, you go from that jumbled mess to a little bit of clarity, at least, by identifying, oh, okay, that's what I'm trying to build. In the end, I want it to look like this. Now, the next thing that Lego does that's actually really nice for us who have to build Lego sets is they start taking chunks of it. They start taking like, oh, okay, you're going to build the first floor, then you're going to build the second floor, then you're going to build the Sailor Girl over here. And they start taking chunks of it and they start putting it in bags labeled. And it says, do bag one. Only open bag one. And you do everything in bag one, and then you do everything in bag two, and then you do everything in bag three. Well, your life can kind of be like that. The next key is to take the end goal of where you want to get to and start breaking it down into projects. What are the key projects that are going to get you closer to this, right? If you're a sales executive, what are the key sales projects? If you manage a team, what are the 3 or 4 most important projects for your team? Don't think about, gosh, everything that could be possibly made. Could you imagine? There's infinite possibilities with just this bucket of Legos. But no, we've already determined I want it to look like this. So if I want it to look like this, the major projects have to be chunked out. And so you start chunking productivity. You start identifying what are the most important things and kind of putting them together into projects. Things that take multiple steps. I'm going to share with you in the next video what we do once we get it chunked into these projects. But that's the key. The key is, if you just say, I want it to look like this, well, do you start working here? Do you start working there? Do you start working on this surfer girl over here? Do you put on the roof first? No, right? We still have a little bit too much confusion to be really effective and productive and to really know exactly what I ought to do. So I have to chunk it out. I have to say, look, if I want this, gosh, if I want to raise my income by 10%, if I want to raise my income by 50%, if I want to double my income, what does that look like? If I want to expand my sales market, what does that look like? What are the projects? What are the chunks that I have to put these things into? And that's just with your work life, right? You've got these projects and chunks of things in your home life too, right? Shoot, your shopping list is probably a big chunk of things. What you need to buy next time you go to the store, or helping your children with their school, or helping spouse or life partner with a project, or whatever it is. Right? There are so many things going on in your mind, going on in your brain, but you have to take those and compartmentalize them and chunk them into projects to say, okay, overall, this is what I want the big project to look like. But each of those is broken down into a bag, a smaller project. So you don't need to worry yet about identifying the actions that go into that. We'll work on that in the next video. But you do want to start identifying what are the major projects. Start that YouTube channel, start the podcast, right? Whatever it is, make sure that I network with these people. Go to this conference, right? Those are the things I need to work on, this sales project that's going to increase revenue. Work on the marketing project that's going to increase revenue. Work on the operations project that's going to reduce expenses, right? All of these things get broken down into chunks. So look at your overall end goal of what it is you're trying to accomplish and break that down into smaller chunks. And in the next video, I'll share with you the next step to get you started.